When it comes to grains, I said before beans are like a core item. Whole grains are like the other. So I've heard you in the past say that you recommend of the grains quinoa, millet, amaranth, teff, buckwheat, and wild rice. And then there are gluten grains like wheat, barley, and oats. And then there's also brown rices. What for a person who is saying I'm not ready to be raw, which grains do you recommend? Which whole grains do you recommend they eat? Are there any you recommend they don't eat?
Well, let's repeat the first list that you gave. Amaranth, which is an Aztec and Mayan grain. Now it's more available. Millet, which is a European grain. Quinoa, which is a South and Central American grain. Buckwheat, which is the first crop they ever grew in Europe. Kasha, that's called. Wild rice, because that's not a hybrid rice that has a lot of sugar in it now, carbohydrate in it. So these would be your preference grains there. Teff, an Ethiopian grain, a wonderful grain. And the ones you should try to avoid are the glutinous grains. And in every case, no matter what you're eating, germinate them. It goes from a grain to a plant once you sprout them. And it becomes a totally different biochemical process when you take that. So as an example, we multiply all of the nutrients on an average of 8 times. 8 times more A, 8 times more B's, 8 times more C, 8 times more E. We make it from 17 to 57 times more digestible. And more important, in the gluten grains, they're no longer glutinous. Now, remember what I've said in the past when we're doing our monthly Real Truth question and answer periods, Stephen, that when you recognize that grains are not part of the original human diet, they don't need to be part of what you eat. But we've also been corrupted into, I would never have survived without whole grain breads. I would never have survived without that transitional type of food. And even today, occasionally we'll eat whole grain crackers of some type, and occasionally we'll eat sprouted chickpeas and even cooked sometimes. It's just what Dr. Tuttle, Anna Marie, and I have been saying. And by the way, Anna Marie's name is not up there, just my name. She's not Brian, she doesn't have a beard. That basically most, if not all of your diet when you're fighting a major disease needs to be raw. Once you've healed it, we've done the work when we were still in Boston and we had access to a lot of the labs at the major universities there. Up to 20, even 25% of your diet by weight can be plant-based and cooked so that you see light at the end of the tunnel and you don't compromise the immune system. We also know you go up another 5%, you've now compromised the immune system by 17.8%. You go up another 5% to 35% of your diet is cooked. You've now compromised the immune system 48.2%, one half your immune system. That's what they discovered 100 years ago or 90 years ago at Pasteur Institute with Raskolnikov, where he said this is a problem called leukocytosis, where the body and the immune system, the body has a cooked food in it, the immune system identifies it as a carbon structure and attacks it, compromising the immune system. As the Swedes told us from Anna's country 40 years ago, when you cook one of these plant-based organic foods at a high temperature, there's a cancer-causing element, and that's called acrylamide. And then, as we've known for 69 years now, all of these food-based, raw, plant-based organic foods have oils in them. When you heat an oil 69 years ago, it becomes a problem contributing to heart problems as well as cancers. So there's lots of science on why you shouldn't be eating cooked food. But guess what? I probably wouldn't be here today. Anna wouldn't be here today if we didn't have the whole grains at the beginning. Just go to the ones that we now know about. I didn't know what millet was when I was a kid. Teff, forget it. Most of you don't know what that is now. So just learn the new vocabulary. When you read a book that turns you on, you're turned on. So move into the direction of being turned on by new things, new ideas, new thoughts, and new ways to look at life and food.
What happens with the Institute, because we've been forerunning for so many years of raw living foods, is that, of course, we set it very, very high for everybody, because that's what we know has worked for so many people, of course, that wanted to come and heal. So many people come here nowadays too, just for fitness. They come here to lose weight, they take our fitness program, and they love what they feel. They love what they see. And of course, we teach them that 20% of your diet could easily be the cooked grains, the beans, but we sprout them. And we also teach how to bake or steam squash or root vegetables and make that a part. But you're never going to get the energy that you're looking for unless you add a big part of raw living foods. So,
we have an online culinary institute
yeah,
that we teach some cooked food in there, but how to do it properly. We have a sleep program beginning this spring here. And food is a big part of why people can't sleep well. And so, we look at this in a scientific way through many windows, and the application of a wide variety of technologies, a wide variety of dietary nutritional understandings and science, and a wide variety of ways to conceive and perceive life.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just say quickly, I think what happened to me was when I first became a vegetarian and then a vegan, I realized, and I was only in my early to mid 20s, but I realized my body needed to detox, and so I did quite a lot of fasting. And I think every year I would fast for a week or a week or sometimes even longer. Sometimes I do 2 or 3 weeks of fasting. And I think the kind of thing that we're talking about here is it's a good idea to periodically cleanse. Our bodies will accumulate toxins, but we don't have to be doing that all the time necessarily. We don't have to be like always right on top of it, and only, either if we're not fasting, we're only eating raw. It can become really like overwhelming. So I think eating organic and whole foods and mostly raw is not that hard to do. I mean, it's actually delicious, and you can have some starches along with it, and then occasionally, like go to Hippocrates or do it on your own, do a cleanse for a week, or do something really cleansing. And I think if you don't have health issues, you'll feel great. I mean, basically, I think it's feeling into your intuitive sense of things. I don't think it's, listening to your body is a little dangerous. It's probably in some ways, if someone's addicted to cigarettes, they don't want to listen to their body, right? So you have to kind of, use your intuition, like your wisdom, and treat your body as not your master, but you're giving like it's a great vehicle, and give it the best fuel. Because you have a purpose. The purpose is the most important thing. We're not here on this earth just to be healthy for no reason. Like, we're here to do something, right?
Look at how healthy I am. You see it? I used to
Right.
smoke 3 packs of cigarettes a day, and the only way I could stop it is gave it up like that. Because people say, well, wean yourself down, forget it. It's dope. You take any dope, you're still a dope addict. I had to quit it immediately. I was shaking for a month or 2.